I'm sitting here charging my car, my AT5 Touring, on the way back to Shenzhen, and I figure now is a great time to talk about charging versus power swapping, or in addition to, or just my thoughts on both, because I see all the time online people say power swapping is not needed, charging is fine. You can, when you're on a road trip, you need to get out and stretch your legs around. You gotta hang out a bit. It's good to take a break from the road. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts here today, and also kind of maybe walk around a little bit and show you this place where this charging station is at. So let's just check real quick. We're charging at a China State Grid charging station, and we're pulling 79 kilowatts, and it's going to take a while, 1 hour and 4 minutes to get a full charge. I'm obviously not going to charge the full because, as they say, you shouldn't do that. You should optimize your charging curves. Easy, come on, jump, come on. Oh, okay. So first of all, with regards to charging, and charging in a non-NIO charger, or charging at a like if you're a Tesla driver, non-Tesla charger, let's just say it's third-party charger. Very, very annoying, because in Europe, tons of different apps really drive me crazy when I was in Europe. Here in China, most things you can do with WeChat or Alipay. They also have individual apps for third-party chargers, which you also could use, maybe if you want to get a VIP card or whatever. But let's just say the problem with charging with a third-party charger is that it doesn't just plug and charge like with NIO. It does that with NIO power charging piles, or Tesla does that. There might be other chargers that do that, I'm not sure, but these ones definitely do. So with NIO, when I was charging in Yunnan, I just walked up to the car and plug it in, and I'm good to go. As long as I have a NIO app, which I do because I have a NIO car, right? Driving a NIO car, and I have linked it to my payment account. Here, I came here to charge, and at first I used gun A because I'm parked on the left side. I try to leave room for somebody else, even though I didn't park very well. I think there's plenty of chargers available. Anyway, I try to use gun A here, and I scanned the QR code that you use when it pops up here when you plug in your car. It didn't work, and pain in the butt, whatever. Then I had to go over here, try plug B, and eventually got it to work. And so just annoying, right? So that's the first problem with charging compared to swapping or using an official Tesla charger or NIO charger with your Tesla or your NIO. Now, let's go walk around here a little bit, see what's over here. Now, with regards to people say, oh, charging is fast enough when I'm on a road trip. I can just walk around, get some food, use the toilet, etc., etc. Well, the first thing I want to say is, of course you can do the same thing if you are power swapping. No problem. If you're power swapping, you get off the highway, you want to take a break, you don't swap right away. You don't have to sit in your car. You can get out, go to the bathroom, and then come back after you've eaten, stretch your legs, and get in the car and power swap, and it takes 5 minutes and you have a full battery. Now, when it comes to charging, which by the way, look at all these chargers here. When it comes to charging, the situation is always going to be different. And what I mean by that is, earlier I was charging. This morning I left early, driven really far today, and the first charging station I went to had one like box with two guns, right, for charging very fast. And so it was rated at 180 kilowatts. So presumably you could pull that if your car can accept that. And then there was another charger next to it, which was a slow charger, and then another DC fast charger that didn't have a label how fast it was. So I didn't want to use the slow charger, so I went to the other DC fast charger, and I started using it, and it was pulling like 7 kilowatts. So it was a slow charger, but it looked like a fast charger. It looked just like the 180 kilowatt one. So then I was waiting. I didn't want to, sit there for 10 hours charging my car. Finally, eventually, the NIO and the Tesla that were there, they were done charging, and I charged my car. And well, actually the NIO left, and I started charging at the same time as the Tesla. And so even though it was rated for 180 kilowatts, I was only pulling again 80 kilowatts. And even when the Tesla left, that's all it was pulling. So you never know what you're going to get when you use a charger. You could be at a charger that says 250 kilowatts, and your car only get 80 or 50 or 70. It might be something wrong with the charger. or then you might have to share it with another car, right? It might be 250 kilowatts, but because you're sharing it with another car, you're only getting half the amount of energy per second or whatever. I don't know, however you rate it. So that's a big problem with charging a car versus power swapping. You know, when you go on a power swap, it's always going to take 4 or 5 minutes. Of course, if there's a line, it might take a little bit longer, but you know the actual swap is only going to take that much time. And then you've got another problem, which is a big problem to me, is I've talked about this before. There's no proper way to line up with chargers. With power swapping, you can line up digitally in the queue. You place your order. When you approach the station, it puts you in the queue. You know how long it's going to take you. You know your place in line. Nobody can jump the line. Now, I was at a charger last night. I think it was last night. It's been a long trip. I think it should be last night. It doesn't matter when it was. It's at a charger. About 20 charging piles, but a very, very busy charger. A lot of cars trying to charge. And I was lucky when I got there, there was an open space. But after a while, nothing down here. Maybe I'll go down here and turn right. So after a while, it got backed up. And then people were just kind of piling in, because China is not very orderly anyway, not a great place for lining up. Even after coronavirus, when we had to line up every day or every 48 hours to get our test, back to normal now, where people don't know how to line up, and when they're charging, they might want to nudge their nose in there and get there first. So that's another big problem, is as more and more EVs get on the road, if infrastructure doesn't keep up, people are going to be, maybe cutting each other off, not knowing how to line up, maybe fighting. It's going to be a big problem. Whereas with power swapping, you just get in the digital queue. If you have to wait 5 minutes for your turn, maybe there's a car in front of you, 2 cars in front of you, you can get out and go to the bathroom and stretch your legs then. So for me, there's no comparison really between the power swapping and charging. Even as charging gets faster, even if you can charge from 10 to 80% in 10 minutes, even if so, you're still going to run into the same problems unless there's enough charging piles, enough charging stations everywhere you go, which may or may not happen depending on your country, your government, your state. In America, there's some states that are like anti-infrastructure. It's mind-blowing. Whereas here, everywhere you go, almost every rest stop, every city, every town, there's tons of stations everywhere, and you still run into issues. So to me, like really, really, really no chance that charging will ever be better than power swapping unless something drastically changes with regards to how much infrastructure there is. Even if it takes 5 minutes, the fact that you have to line up and nobody's really implemented a digital queue similar to what NIO has done with power swapping yet. Maybe Tesla can do it in the future, I don't know. I think probably they're the only company that would be able to, based on what I've seen, with regards to like competency and with regards to having a power network of their own, but it remains to be seen. So that's that. That's my rant for today. Right now I'm in Honghe Zhou, in Mengzi. Mengzi is a great town. I have very, very fond memories of this town as well. I'm actually in South Mengzi. I don't know what's around here besides, as you can see, like warehouses and stuff. I just got off the highway, and this is where the chargers were, in this industrial type park. So Mengzi, if you don't know, which I'm sure you don't, this is the home of Guoqiao Mixian, which is crossing the bridge rice noodles. We're actually very close to the border with Vietnam, and Vietnam also famous for rice noodles, although the flavor is quite different. But Guoqiao Mixian in Mengzi is like a mixian, like rice noodle, but instead of all putting it together, it's kind of more like Korean style, where you have a bunch of little dishes, or maybe like hot pot, where you have different plates of food, and then you put all the different plates, what you order, like you order egg or different whatever add-ons, meat, beef, pork, whatever. They give it to you all in a bunch of little bowls. They usually have like a set actually, but you can order different things. So you might have like 12 ingredients, and you add them all into the bowl yourself, which kind of unique, I guess. Really not like the most exciting thing in the world, to be honest with you, but it tastes good. and it's, you know, it's different. And Mengzi, I've been here a few times. Actually, I don't want to get into why I have fond memories here. Maybe people could probably guess if they know me. But a great town and a wonderful place and great people and perfect weather. It's October, what, 15th, 16th? And it's like 25 degrees, blue sky. It's 4:20 in the afternoon, blue sky, fresh air, and absolutely a wonderful city and one of my favorites in China. Easy, come on. She's taking her sweet time smell and stuff. Another thing I just want to say about power swapping versus charging is that as a person who does like a little bit of like urban design and city design and feel very happy when a city, you know, meets my needs, like aesthetically, I guess. And I really don't like, you know, if you see my video on like 15-minute cities, which has a lot of views, thank you guys, you would know that I don't like big strip malls, big parking lots, places like this. I mean, I know sometimes it's necessary, you might need an industrial place like this, but like within the heart of a city, I don't want a big parking lot. And one thing I hate about charging stations is just how much space they take up. You know, even people say, well, they can charge more cars, more throughput. Well, if you put, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 swap stations in one place, you would have way more throughput and it wouldn't take up nearly as much space as, you know, a big charging station like down in like Southern California, like on the way to LA on I-5 or 99, whatever it is, past Bakersfield, I forget. Where I remember I charged with my mom and her Tesla, and it's like, I don't know, 80 stalls or 100 stalls or something. I don't know exactly, but it's just so hideously ugly and huge and massive and repugnant. It's not how things should be. I know there's plenty of space out there. There's similar places in China. I think I've taken you. Come on, Easy. Where it's like a really big parking lot for charging your car, and it's just like such a huge waste of space and so ugly, and doesn't make me feel good as a person. Like, it makes it feel like a city designed for cars and not a city designed for people, and that's a big pet peeve of mine. I like things that are a little bit more conducive to walking and to humanity, and as much as I do enjoy driving a car around, I don't think that's how a city should be designed. It shouldn't be a place like a concrete urban jungle, giant blacktop for cars to go and park and drive and charge. It's horrible. And that's just my own personal opinion. And I hope you don't mind hearing that. So that's anyway, another reason why power station swapping, much better. So anyway, this industrial area, I don't know if you've been watching, most of it is just like shipping companies. Like this is shipping company Kuaidi. This is shipping company Wuliu. There was also China Post back there. Here is Xunfeng, very, very popular shipping company. What the heck is she doing? Come on. Shashin, stay. Good girl. Let's check out this Xunfeng sorting facility. We're probably not allowed in, but that's alright. Pretty much like Amazon, right? I guess fewer robots. Big ramps for sorting things out. You can see here different city names. Jinping, Mengzi, maybe different postcodes too. Mengzi, a lot of Mengzi. What's over here? Heko is a border town with Vietnam, and I would like to go there someday, but not this trip. Got to get the car back to Shenzhen. Now I wish the NIO had enough swap stations to allow me to just swap continuously all around China. Maybe in the future they will, or even just enough power, you know, NIO charging piles where I can just plug and play, plug and charge, because it's so much better than this horrible experience. Even though this is working, wouldn't it be just better to have something that worked better? Obviously. So that's it from me. I will see you guys in the next one, whatever that may be. Adios.